Okay guys, I hope that now the sound is audible. Sound is audible everyone? Fine. Now the sound is audible. Okay, so guys, a very good morning to all of you and I welcome you to the newspaper analysis discussion. So guys, as I had throat problem, I was not able to record the video for past 2-3 days. Apologies for that particular thing. Now guys, starting up, so in the today's session we are going to discuss all the relevant articles in the Hindu newspaper along with all the background and the way forward, and you can download this explainer notes from our Telegram channel. The link for the Telegram channel is given in the description box in YouTube. Okay, now guys, one small thing is there. Every class we start with the GS quotation, but today we are not able to take the GS quotation because today I was not able to download the every class we start with the newspaper overview, but today we will not be able to start with the newspaper overview because I was not able to download the PDF of the Hindu newspaper from the newspaper because there was some kind of technical issue that was coming. It was showing bad gateway, so I was not able to do that. So today we will not be able to take the overview. Now starting up, so first of all let's take the quote for the today. So the quote for the today we have taken is from Mahatma Gandhi ji. So Gandhi ji says, what is really needed to make democracy functional is not knowledge of fact but right education. Now what do we mean by the right education? So guys, the right education doesn't just entails the knowledge of facts or knowledge of the phenomena. Right education entails the moral understanding, the social understanding, the political understanding of the society as a whole. As per the moral understanding, you need to understand your ethics, you need to understand values. As per the social understanding, you need to understand the different aspects of the social reality, society, how society works, social phenomena. And as the part of the political understanding, you need to know the constitution, constitutional values, constitutional spirit, all these things. So the real education is something which is needed to make democracy functional and not just the mere awareness of the facts. Okay, this is all guys about it. I hope that you have understood. And now moving to the first article for today. Sir, videos are not coming on regular interval, so I have posted this thing on Telegram that I had tonsil inflammation. Because of that I was not able to stream video. Even today there is pain in the throat, but I am trying to do that, and apologies for that thing that videos were not able to come. Fine, I'll try my best that such things should not happen again. Is the ranking system of college flawed? Is the ranking system of college flawed? This is the first article. We have taken it from the text and the context section. Now let's guys understand this particular article as what it is talking about. First of all, where this article is going to be important. Now this particular article guys would be important in GS paper number 2, issues related to the education. GS paper number 2, issues related to the education. Now basically guys, this article is talking about the NIRF, that is National Institution Ranking Framework. Now what is the NIRF? Basically guys, NIRF is a list which ranks the universities and colleges in India on a objective parameter, objective ranking. Understand this particular thing guys. Right now we have the world rankings. For example, there QS, quick rally assignments. This is the world university ranking. There is the time university ranking which ranks the institutions. Okay, but in India, now understand this particular thing. I will give you one example why there is a problem, and by that how we are going to solve one problem by this particular ranking. Now understand this particular thing. India wants to become the hub. India wants to become the hub for education. But right now the international students are not choosing India as a destination of education. Few countries in our neighborhood and few African students are choosing India as a country for education. Their reason is that often students are not able to understand objectively that which institutions in India are the premier institutions, which institutions are not that much good, but they have been overhyped. Because you know that there are certain private universities which have been hyped too much, but in terms of quality they don't have that good placements. The quality of education is not good. So in order to objectively help those students, there is NIRF, National Institutional Ranking Framework, that has been launched. Now this NIRF actually was launched in 2016 by the Ministry of Education, and we find this thing that under the NIRF, the institutions are ranked under 11 categories. So there are total 11 categories. For example, there is the overall ranking of the institutions, then the research institutions are ranked separately, then the universities are ranked separately, colleges are ranked separately, then there is also the discipline specific ranking of the institution also is there. For example, engineering colleges, management colleges, pharmacy, law, etc. So in total, there are under the NIRF there are 11 different type of rankings are released. Now in this particular direction, just wait guys. Okay guys, sorry for this. Now so basically we find this thing that under the NIRF, and there are under the 11 categories the institutions are ranked. These are some of the major categories that we have taken up. Moreover, when we talk about the NIRF ranks the institutions on the basis of the 5 parameters. Now what are these 5 parameters? The number one parameter is teaching, learning and resources. Okay, teaching, learning and resources. 30% weightage is given to the teaching, learning and resources. Then the research and professional practice, how much professional practice are being given, what is the research. Okay, for example, IISc Bangalore has a lot of research, so what amount of research is being taken up, so 30% weightage is given for that. Graduation outcome, okay, whether you are job ready or not, whether you are getting placement or not, what you have learned post your graduation. So these graduation outcomes, they have the 20% weightage. Then the outreach and inclusivity, 10% is given to the outreach and inclusivity. For example, whether the minority religion students are being minority religion students are there or not, whether women are there or not, the low caste, the people who belong to the Dalit community, they have been given the admission or not. And the third is the perception. 10% weightage is also given to the perception, how the students, how the outsiders perceive an institution. So in this particular way, the weightages have been given to the different institutions. Now guys, further moving on in this particular direction. Now what has happened over the past few days, there are the criticisms that have been raised on the NIRF, and this criticism comes that the methodology of the NIRF is not completely objective. Why it is not completely objective? They say this particular thing, that a lot of attention is being given to the bibliometric measures. Now what is this bibliometric measure? Basically guys, understand this thing. If you see, we have seen that the 30% weightage, for example, 30% weightage is given to the research and professional practice. Now how you measure the research, how you measure the professional practice? Now that particular thing is measured. For example, there is a scholar in one of a college, in one of an institution, for example IISc Bangalore. Now this scholar has written a research paper. Now how many times that particular research paper has cited in other research paper, have cited in other studies, have cited in the books. Okay, for example, if you read your economy books also, many number of times they are giving the reference of some research paper, that okay, this data has been taken from that research paper. So how many times that research paper has been cited? Okay, they also see this particular thing, that basically they also see how many times it has been cited, number of how many numbers of paper have been published. Okay, for example, institution A publishing 100 papers, institution B publishing 500 papers. Now institution B publishing 500 papers, but the subjects that they have taken might be very generic. The quality of the research papers might not be good, but that quality is not taken. Just they see the number of paper, how many times they have been cited, all such kind of things. Moreover, the NIRF, they actually uses the commercial database to get this particular bibliometric data. They uses that database such as the Scopus, Web of Science. Okay, from there they get this bibliometric data. But it has also been provided that the data in these Web of Science, Scopus, it is often inaccurate. Moreover, as the citations are the concerned, okay, moreover NIRF also sees that a research paper was published in which journal, which magazine, which book. So basically NIRF is also encouraging researchers to focus on those particular subjects, on those particular works which are more likely to be published in journals and magazines. Okay, so there are certain papers which might not be published immediately. Okay, there are certain topics which might not be trending topics, hot topics, but research is important on that. So those particular subtopics are often not taken. So this is actually, guys, the concerns that have come with respect to the NIRF ranking. Now when we talk about the rankings around the world, there are the QS, Quick Rayleigh Simons ranking, there are the Time ranking. In all these rankings there have been many number of times the criticism that there is an ambiguity, all such kind of things. In NIRF also there are such kind of an ambiguities, but we will resolve this particular thing in the times to come. Clear? So this is something that is there. Moreover, it has also been said that NIRF's emphasis or ranking can also lead to unhealthy competition between the universities. Is it clear or not? Just basically what will happen, just only on those parameters they will perform good, by which they can get a NIRF good ranking. So unhealthy competition can also be started. So these are some of the criticisms of the NIRF that has come in the newspaper. So that is all, guys, about it. And now moving to the next article. Are non-communicable diseases increasing in India? Are non-communicable diseases increasing in India? Okay. Now, basically, guys, this particular article we are going to see with respect to the GS paper number 2 health. We'll see this particular article with respect to the GS paper number 2 health. GS paper number 2 health. Now, basically, guys, one particular reference I want to give you, that non-communicable diseases, they have been called as the silent killers by the Lancet. So Lancet is the most reputed health journal in the world, and Lancet calls non-communicable disease as the silent killers because it kills large number of people every year. Now when we talk about India, the major health crisis for India in the 1970s was actually the infectious diseases, but now from the infectious diseases the non-communicable diseases have become a big problem, and these non-communicable diseases are also called as the lifestyle diseases. Why they are called as the lifestyle diseases? Often because of the poor lifestyle. For example, sedentary lifestyle, sedentary lifestyle, overconsumption of junk food, stress, hypertension, okay, all these things lead to the non-communicable diseases. Now recently what has happened, there is a decade-long study, okay, that has been carried by their few organizations. I'll tell you the name first of all. For example, Indian Council of Medical Research, Department of Health Research, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, okay, and the Madras Diabetes Research Foundation. They have carried a study, and in this particular study they have found this particular thing, that the 31 million more Indians, they have become diabetic in the 2019 to 2021 year. So non-communicable disease have increased, and particularly the diabetes have increased so much. Now basically this particular report has identified two of the most important trends. Trend number one, that the diabetes, okay, and other non-communicable disease, for example the hypertension, obesity, okay, dyslipidemia. Okay, now what is dyslipidemia? Dyslipidemia is the imbalance in the lipids. For example, LDL, cholesterols, all their balances will be disturbed. These particular things are becoming a very big concern right now. Secondly, it says this thing, that when we talk about the non-communicable diseases, they were a problem in the urban region, but now it has been said that now the non-communicable diseases are also becoming a concern in the rural India as well. So rural India will also see that diabetes explosion in the next 5 years. So therefore we need to urgently interfere or intervene in this particular matter. Moreover, this particular study has also provided that there are the inter-regional variations. For example, the high prevalence of diabetes could be found in states such as Goa, Puducherry, Kerala. There are pre-diabetes people are more prevalent in Sikkim. Hypertension is prevalent in Punjab. However, it has been said that when we talk about the diabetes was a big concern in actually more of the developed state, but now the diabetes is stabilizing in the developed state, but at the same time it is stabilizing in the developed states, but it is increasing in the other states. Okay, so it has a serious implication if immediately the steps are not taken to arrest the growth of non-communicable diseases, diabetes particularly. Now guys, it has also been provided that basically in the past 4 years, fine, the burdens of diabetics, hypertension, etc., abdominal obesity has increased, and it is nothing but an early warning that is being given. If these things are not treated, then it can lead to large problems in the times to come. Now guys, understand this particular thing, that when we talk about India, we always appreciate that 2020, now UNFPA had said that 2020 to 2040 is the golden window for the demographic dividend of India. We will have the youngest population in this particular period, but if that population will be sick, if that particular population will not be healthy, we cannot take any objective advantage of that particular demography, and therefore this demographic dividend could turn in a demographic disaster. It could turn into the demographic disaster. So urgent actions have to be taken in this particular direction. Now the question comes that what could be the way forward? What could be the way forward? Now the way forward could be something like this, that first of all we need to focus on the lifestyle changes. Now in the lifestyle changes, the focus needs to be there on the healthy diet, the focus need to be there on exercise. Okay, healthy diet, exercise, and it has also been provided that at least just not much, but just 30 minutes of physical exercise every day has the basically it can reduce the stroke, it can reduce the diabetes and lifestyle diseases by whooping 22 to 25%. So 30 minutes of exercise can reduce these particular things. Now 4 major non-communicable diseases are the cardiovascular diseases, cancer, chronic respiratory disease, diabetes. Fine, and they are because of the behavioral reasons: unhealthy diets, lack of physical activity, use of tobacco, use of alcohol. So these are the interventions on which the government has to work, and for that particular thing, immediately there are the awareness program. We need to use IEC, that is the information, education and communication is to be used immediately. Okay, so we need to use information, education and communication to tackle all these particular things. Then after that, after information, education, communication, the next focus that is to be given on the human resource basically first of all there needs to be the health infrastructure, so that if people fall ill, they could be catered in this health infrastructure. Human resource development needs to be there. We need to have adequate number of nurses, we need to have adequate number of doctors in the health infrastructure to cater to these people. Health activities need to be promoted. For example, Fit India campaign, etc. needs to be started. Awareness generation I already discussed, and there also needs to be the early diagnosis. We need to promote the habit of regular health checkups and all such kind of things. Okay, and this is all about it. Now guys, moving to the next article, that is the cultural shifts. Now this particular article guys, it is talking about a new change that is coming into the approach of the America. Now let's understand this particular article, what the article is actually talking about. So basically guys, right now, first of all guys, I am really sorry for the disturbances that are happening in between, but just to tell you little bit of the context that why there are these so many disturbances, it's because right now I am not in my hometown. I am here in Mumbai, and the place where I am staying, the internet connection is not good, so I have to come every day in the coaching. So the coaching classes, they start at around 10:30, and this is the time when the cleaning and all such kind of things happen. So right now I'm sitting in the class and the cleaning and all such kind of things are happening. Okay, so some people are going, coming, and so because of this thing there is so much of disturbance that's there. Okay, now what is this article all about? Let me tell you little bit of the context first. So basically guys, we see this particular thing that the US has went in the stage of isolationism in the past. It went in the state of isolationism in the past. What is this isolationism? For example guys, for example, even before the Trump, Barack Obama, for example, what happened? The Barack Obama in 2011 stopped the funding for UNESCO. In 2011 stopped the funding for the UNESCO. Then what happened? The Donald Trump came. What Donald Trump did? Donald Trump, when he came in 2020, he stopped the funding for the WHO. He stopped the funding from the WHO. Also, the Donald Trump, what he did? He withdrew from the UNESCO. He withdrew from the UNESCO. Donald Trump withdrew from the Obama stopped the funding. Donald Trump withdrew from the UNESCO. Even the Donald Trump said that we will also withdraw from the Paris Agreement that was taken by the countries in 2015. The Paris Agreement that was taken in 2015, they also withdrew from that particular thing. So this is called as the isolationism of the USA, that they are withdrawing from the major agreements, major convention, major frameworks, major treaties. Okay. Now what has happened? We find that there is a little bit of a change that is coming into the America's policies. What change is coming in the America's policies? Now America is again returning on the landscape. And guys, now what has happened this week? The USA had said this particular thing, that we are again going to rejoin the UNESCO. We are again going to rejoin the UNESCO. I told you that they withdrew from it under the Donald Trump, that is in 2017, and the funding was stopped in 2011 during the Obama times. Now why they are joining back UNESCO? It is because of the China. Now how China? Basically guys, under the UNESCO, China is proposing many of the regulations and many of the controls on the artificial intelligence. You might be knowing right now that the artificial intelligence is the next big technology, and with the coming of the chat GPT, with the coming of the generative artificial intelligence, we have already seen that what artificial intelligence can do. So therefore it is very much urgent that the America should be present in the rule setting of the artificial intelligence. But right now, as America is not there, China is taking all the lead. So it has helped the China to gain more influence. Now guys, understand this particular thing. When the IT revolution came in 1990, America was there, and America has been the major rule makers of all the new changes that had come. But right now America is missing, and under the UNESCO, China is making all these rules. So therefore America is entering. Now guys, understand this thing, that we have seen that in the past, for example in 2020, Trump announced that US will withdraw the funding of WHO. They also said that they will withdraw from Paris Agreement. They also already in 2017 withdrawn from the UNESCO. But now they are entering here. Basically guys, moreover, in the past also, what America has done, America has withdrawn from the UNESCO. It is not the first time. For example, in 1984 also, they have withdrawn from the UNESCO, because at that point of a time, it was said that the UNESCO is working on the Soviet Union's interest. Okay, and now, because now they have also withdrawn. Now guys, when we talk about the development in the artificial intelligence, these are slightly different from the historical technological developments that had happened, because never such big tectonic development happened ever in the future. So basically USA wants to have this particular edge right now, so therefore they are entering. Moreover, USA have also said that since 2011 we have stopped the funding of UNESCO, so whatever the pending dues are there, those pending dues will also be now be settling. Okay, now basically it has been said this particular thing guys, that right now we see this particular thing, that artificial intelligence, particularly the chat GPT, generative AI that has come, it holds so much of the promises, and so much of new technologies, new systems could be developed on AI, and therefore on that particular thing, when we talk about the AI patents, when we talk about the AI research, when we talk about the AI research publications, China is taking the advantage in all these particular kind of things. Moreover, today guys, the AI, it can generate a lot of data. AI can be fed on the lot of data. Okay, and in this particular thing guys, in this particular thing, it has also been provided that the America doesn't want to leave all those particular things, so it has to actively present in all such kind of things. Fine. This is guys all about this particular article, that America is again joining it. Now moving to the next article, Code Red. Now what this particular article is talking about, now this article will see with respect to the GS paper number 2 issues related to the GS paper number 2, GS paper number 1 issues related to the society and social justice. issues related to society and social justice. Now understand this thing. Basically guys, the article 44 of the Indian Constitution mentions about the uniform civil code. Now understand this particular thing guys, that right now as we talk about the laws in India, there are the criminal laws and there are the civil laws. Civil laws are uniformly applied on all the people. There is a uniform civil criminal code. For example, IPC is there, CRPC is there. They are applied on all the people in the same capacity. But when we talk about the civil code, different communities, they have been allowed that they can regulate their civil matters as per their own personal laws. In the civil matters, their marriage will come, divorce will come, adoption will come, inheritance will come. So with respect to these 4 subjects, different communities can have their own laws. For example, we know this particular thing, that in the Muslim community still the triple talaq is allowed. Keep one thing in your mind. Triple talaq, there is instant triple talaq and then there is the triple talaq. Instant triple talaq is called as talaq-e-biddat and other triple talaq is talaq-e-hasan. Talaq-e-biddat, that is the instant triple talaq, was invalidated, but still there is another triple talaq that prevails, that is the talaq-e-hasan. Fine. So I hope that you understood. Instant triple talaq has been invalidated. Talaq-e-hasan is still there. But Hindus don't have that triple talaq. Fine. Why Muslims have that and Hindus don't have? Because of the personal civil laws that have been allowed, that different communities have been allowed that they can carry. Now recently what has happened, 22nd Law Commission has claimed this particular thing, that now it is high time that we should ask the people that whether they want the uniform civil code or not, because we have not carried any such survey, we have not asked from the people themselves. Now this particular thing is being called as that it is deliberately a political move that has been made by the Law Commission, because in 2024 elections are approaching and to bring polarization in the society, this particular thing has been done. But we'll not go in that political dimension. Let's objectively see this particular article. So basically guys, when we talk about the uniform civil code, already the 21st Law Commission that came, they have released a consultation paper in 2018 whether the uniform civil code should be brought in India or not, and they have very clearly said that right now neither it is necessary nor it is desirable to bring the uniform civil code. They have provided this particular thing that we should be focused on elimination of discrimination, and only those problematic provisions in the personal law we need to identify which are discriminatory or which are impacting the social justice. For example, I will give you one example. Guys, in the India there is Prevention of Child Marriage Act, which provides that the girls cannot be married before the age of 18 and boys cannot be married before the age of 21. This is the prevention of prohibition of the Child Marriage Act. But when we talk about the Muslims, in the Muslim personal law, once the girl had attained the puberty, and a girl attains the puberty around the age of 14-15, so once a girl has been attained puberty, she can marry, and this particular thing has also been validated by the Delhi High Court. So here you see the personal law is coming in conflict with the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act. Okay, so these are certain provisions which we need to identify. For example, triple talaq, that power which is still there only with the husbands, talaq-e-hasan, that is there. Okay, the nikah halala, which is there. These things are something which are often discriminatory to the women. Only these factors we need to identify the personal laws and we need to amend them. There is no need to bring a wholesale uniform civil code right now. It has been provided. Now basically the document was progressive in nature. Why? Because it said that we need to because it provided that non-discrimination is something which is desired, uniformity is not something desired. Moreover, understand this particular thing, guys, that in the past also, when we talk about the uniform civil code, there were the Constituent Assembly debates that were taken. For example, the uniform civil code is a good thing, and even the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar viewed the uniform civil code as desirable, but he said that it needs to be voluntarily. Understand this particular thing. In India, we have lot of religious diversity, and we always appreciate the diversity that we had, but this will bring the homogenization of all the religious social practices. Moreover, guys, understand this thing. In the past also, there have been a concern that in the name of uniform civil code, the Hinduization will be carried, which will create insecurities into the mind of the minority communities. And right now we see that the polarization, division in the society is so big that this can become a point of igniting even new social tensions. So right now guys, in these particular times, it is not desirable to have a civil code because it will be seen as the majority practices that are being imposed. So therefore you just identify those things. For example guys, there is a need that 18 years need to be made as a marriageable age across all the communities for all the genders. Okay, fine. Default basically divorce procedures is needed to be formalized and needed to be one liberal divorce norm is to be created, but uniform civil code right now might not be very much needed. This is the argument of this particular article. Now I am not saying guys that you also have to accept this particular argument, but you should know what are the different viewpoints that are actually prevailing there in the society. That is all about it. Now moving to the next article. Reflections on artificial intelligence as friend or foe. Reflections on artificial intelligence as friend or foe. Now what this particular article guys is actually talking about. Now this particular article is actually talking about the artificial intelligence, which has become such a big phenomena right now in the world. So basically guys, you might be knowing that artificial intelligence is now dominating the headline every day. Particularly guys, the artificial intelligence, they can give the superhuman like abilities to the people, and we see this particular thing that artificial intelligence can has a lot of usage in the speech recognition. Fine, it can identify, for example, I am speaking Hindi, it can translate that particular Hindi in the English in the real time. Okay, it can decode Spanish in some other language. Okay, it can identify, for example, speech recognition. Just by my voice, it can identify that this voice is of Sahil. Fine, just by voice it can identify that this voice belongs to Shah Rukh Khan. So speech recognition, speech identification, okay, and speech conversion, all these are the important applications of the artificial intelligence. Translation, fine, already I have discussed with you. Then after that, it can also identify the photographs. For example, when you upload your photographs on the Google Photos, it can identify that okay, this is Mr. X, this is Mr. Y, this is fine. So that is something. Now today basically the generative artificial intelligence, that is the chat GPT, was launched in 2022, and after that the artificial intelligence has become even a very big thing. Now the chat GPT guys, it is a generative AI tool. Generative AI tool means that it will generate the text on the basis of the query, on the basis of your question, on the basis of your prompt. For example, you give a prompt, you give a command that write an essay on Taj Mahal. It will write an essay on the Taj Mahal, and basically that particular essay will be written in a natural language. See, the machine language and the human language, there is little bit often differences. Okay, so that the text that will be generated, it will be into the natural language. Now this chat GPT, it is made on, it is trained onto the large language model. What is this large language model? Basically guys, understand this thing, huge data sets are fed in these AI algorithms. They are trained on that particular thing, and on the basis of these data sets, they learn the patterns and then they generate the text. Okay, so we find that chat GPT is generating the flawless paragraphs, but at the same time AI can also have certain challenges. Now what are the challenges? Challenge number one, malicious humans with powerful AI. Now there might be the possibility that some of the unethical people will use AI to write the text which look true but actually are fake. So through the AI, it has become even more easy to create the fake news, to spread the fake news. Even guys, now the deep fake issue is coming there. What is a deep fake? So by the artificial intelligence, you can make the fake videos, okay, and by these fake videos you can show the people doing certain things which they have never done. It can be used for the pornographic purposes and all such kind of things. So basically fake news can be created, and that fake news can be used to manipulate the democratic elections. Then the next thing that comes here is that today the AI has become highly capable, but it might it might impact some people in the society negatively. For example guys, today we use the artificial intelligence in the face recognition. Okay, now basically it has been said that artificial intelligence has been trained largely on the photographs of the fair skinned people. So basically when we talk about the fair skinned people, basically the accuracy rate in the case of the fair skinned people, okay, or the basically in the case of the fair skinned people, find the error rate is just 1%. It is just 1%. But when we talk about the dark skinned people, the error rate for dark skinned men is around 19%, and for dark skinned women the error rate stands to around 35%. So error rate for the dark skinned people is huge. Then basically this particular artificial intelligence, it can make a lot of patterns, okay, even from the discrete pieces of information it can make patterns, and it might be impacting the privacy of the people. Then guys, the next thing that comes here is that who develops these technologies and how they are developing these technologies. Today most of the AIs are being developed by the Google, Meta, OpenAI, but if their ethical standards would not be good, they might use that particular AI for the negative purposes. Now guys, right now we see this particular thing that in India the awareness discussion on the AI is largely missing. Whatever the discussion on AI is there in the West, for example recently the UNESCO is being joined by the America again, so that they can regulate the AI, but in India there is no such kind of an urgency. Also we don't have mechanisms, checks and balances to ensure that what will be the implications of the AI in the future. We are not taking that particular thing. Even we are not discussing a law for the AI. Now guys, in this particular direction European Union is on a verge to enact the AI Act to regulate AI, but India is largely missing from this particular picture. So immediately we need to take care of such kind of concern. So that is all about it, and now move to the next article. Jump starting the next phase of US-India defense ties. Now this article will see with respect to the GS paper number 2, international relation, India-US. Now guys, actually we have seen this particular thing that into the last few years there is a huge momentum that has come in the US-India relations, particularly in the defense relations. Now recently we have seen that the USA's Secretary of Defense traveled to India, and the next week Prime Minister will also be visiting to the USA, and the defense ties and developing the critical technologies are going to be a very important theme in this particular meeting. Now guys, understand this particular thing that as we talk about the defense, so co-development, co-production of the defense has been a very important thing, and in this particular direction some important initiatives have also been taken up recently. If you are following regularly, we have discussed these initiatives also. For example, ICAT, that is the US-India Initiative on Critical and Emerging Technologies. It was announced in 2022. Now, US-India Initiative on Critical and Emerging Technologies. So how artificial intelligence further can be deployed, how the drone technologies can be used, how the semiconductors can be manufactured, co-produced by both the countries. These are the major themes of the ICET, that is the emerging technologies. Then recently guys, the Indus X initiative has been launched. Now what is this Indus X? It will give impetus to the defense engagement between the two countries. Basically guys, when we talk about the defense engagement between the India and USA, it is largely between the government to government, but Indus X wants to promote that how the private startups in India, private manufacturers in India, they can also manufacture the weapons and can supply those weaponaries to the America. So this was the major theme of the Indus X, bringing the private sector in the defense collaboration. Then India has also been designated as the major defense partner of the USA, and USA has also signed the 4 foundational agreements with the India, and India has become a major defense partner of the USA, and lot of technology, lot of information, lot of topographic maps USA share with the India. Moreover, on the defense front, there is also the 2+2 ministerial dialogue that is taken up regularly, in which the foreign ministers and defense ministers, they come together. Okay, and India-US defense partnership, it has also been instrumental into the Indo-Pacific. Under the Quad also, we are partnering with the USA. So basically guys, this particular thing shows that India has become an important partner for the USA, and this is the high importance that USA is giving to the India. So it shows a rival factor for the India on the global politics, on the global stage. So this is about this article. Now moving to the next article. Is the Indian Railways stretched beyond its capacity? So we'll see this particular article with respect to the GS paper number 3, issues related to the infrastructure. Now, basically guys, recently we have seen that this accident happened in the Odisha, and this particular accident this accident happened in Odisha, and this particular accident has taken up the issue that we need to focus more on safety, signaling, overcrowding in the railway. Okay, so basically the safety in the Indian railways is often something which has not been focused too much, and now it is high time that it should be a wake up call. This Odisha accident should be a wake up call for India, because nearly 300 people have died and nearly 900 people have got injured. Now guys, basically the article is talking about some of the safety angles in the Indian railways. Now basically guys, it has been provided that basically whenever the maintenance work in the railway is taken, the automatic signaling station, which is very much crucial to avoid the collision of the trains, it is stopped, and there is a manual takeover of the system that happens. Okay, and even when we talk about guys the railways or any industry, majority of the accidents that happen, they happen because of the human error. Now it has been found that actually, though we talk about that we have such high standards, but actually the personnel in the railways, they don't know about the safety standards that are there. For example, in 2015, the inspecting officials, they found that the station masters, signal maintainers, they don't even knew the basic safety rules. They didn't knew the safety literature, safety rules that were there. They were not able to answer the questions on the safety rules. Moreover, it has also been provided that the mock drills, that whether the railway tracks are fit, perfect, fine or not, they are not conducted on all the points. Safety clamps that are there which connect the railway tracks, they are often not greased. Locks are not properly numbered often. Now in this particular accident, the Kavach system has come under the scrutiny. Now basically Kavach system is an anti-collision system and a safety system which is installed on the railways. Now the railway accident that happened here, the Kavach system was not deployed. Now first of all, understand that what is the Kavach system. So basically guys, when we talk about the Kavach system, it is a state-of-the-art electronic system. Number one, when suppose there is this track and this is this, suppose let's take one example. Suppose this is track. Okay, suppose this is track. Now a train is coming from here. A train is coming from here. Now this train will go there. This train will go here. And this train is coming here. Now here, if the red signal is there, the train has to stop. Train has to stop so that this train can pass like this. This train can pass like this. So train has to stop. If the red signal is there and if a train is equipped with the Kavach, train will automatically stop. Train will not pass. So the Kavach system ensures that the train doesn't passes when the signal is red. It avoids the collision. If the two of the trains, they are coming head on and both are fitted with the Kavach system, the collisions will be avoided. Brakes will be automatically be applied. The SOS or emergency messages would be sent into the emergency situations automatically. But when we talk about the Kavach, we see this particular thing. This Kavach system is under development since 2012, but rollout is just 4%. Just 4% rollout of the Kavach has happened. Majority of the trains are not fitted with the Kavach. So basically the article is saying that the safety has to take primacy over the punctuality. Punctuality could be improved over the period of time, but the safety is something that we need to focus. We have eliminated a lot of things. For example, unmanned level crossings have been eliminated, but now the manned level crossings have to be eliminated. So every small thing in the railway which leads to the accidents are needed to be identified and have to be eliminated immediately. Okay, that is all about it. India to buy 31 MQ-9 Reaper UAVs, announcement during PM's US trip. So next week the Indian Prime Minister is going to visit the USA, and there this MQ-9 Reaper unmanned aerial vehicles would be procured. 31 unmanned aerial vehicles would be procured, and here HAL, Hindustan Aeronautical Limited, is also playing an important role here, because the engines of this MQ-9, they have been supported by the Hindustan Aeronautical Division's engine unit. Okay, 31 UAVs they are procuring. However guys, no need to go too much in detail in this article. Then 80 caste to be added into the central OBC list. Now guys, as the election years are there, fine, OBC have always been a very big vote access in the India, so this is happening. But again guys, article doesn't contain much of a substance. Just here this paragraph is important. Fine. So when we talk about the procedure for the addition of the OBC list, so as per the National Commission for Backward Classes Act 1993, the NCBC panel will constitute a bench which will see which caste can be added into the OBC list. Then they will send that particular decision to the union government. Union government will give it to the cabinet. Then a particular bill will be passed, and that bill will be given the president's approval. Then the person, a caste will be added into the OBC list. That is all about it. But again guys, nothing much important with respect to the exam. This is election year 2024, so basically more and more OBCs are to be added into the list, so that just the vote bank politics could be used, and it happens every year. Every political party does that. Fine. Now the main practice question. There needs to be systematic evaluation of deficiency and shortcomings of artificial intelligence in Indian situation. Explain along with example. So this will be a 10 marker question. So that is all guys about it. I hope that you